Do you ever find it hard to say no? You're not alone. For many of us, those two little letters can feel surprisingly heavy. Whether it's at work, with friends or family, saying no can stir up guilt, anxiety, or fear of disappointing others. Many people struggle with this every day. You might agree to things you don't want to do just to avoid conflict or keep the peace. But saying yes all the time can leave you feeling drained and stressed. Your own needs can get lost, and you may start to feel like you're running on empty. It's normal to feel anxious about saying no. You might worry about letting someone down, but these feelings are valid. The good news is, learning to say no is a skill anyone can develop. It's about finding a healthy balance between helping others and caring for yourself. As therapist and author Nedra Glover Tawwab reminds us, no is a complete sentence. By honoring your own limits, you create space to thrive and show up fully for what matters most. Let's begin this journey and discover the power of saying no with confidence. Why do we feel guilty saying no? Often it's because of messages we've received throughout our lives. We might worry about disappointing others or seeming unhelpful. We might fear damaging relationships or missing out on opportunities. Society sometimes tells us we should always be agreeable, especially women. We may have learned to put others' needs before our own. This can make it hard to prioritize ourselves. Remember, your feelings are valid. It's natural to feel a pang of guilt when saying no, but recognizing where these feelings come from can help us challenge them. Saying no is a powerful act of self-care. In a world that often encourages us to say yes to every opportunity, request, or invitation, it can feel uncomfortable or even selfish to decline. But learning to say no is actually a courageous step toward honoring your own needs and well-being. It's about recognizing that your time, energy, and attention are valuable resources that deserve protection. When you say no, you give yourself permission to slow down and focus on what truly matters. It allows us to protect our time and energy, making sure we don't stretch ourselves too thin or take on more than we can handle. By being intentional with our commitments, we can avoid burnout and create more space for rest, creativity, and joy. Saying no helps us stay true to our values and priorities. It's a way of checking in with ourselves and asking, does this align with what's most important to me? When we make choices that reflect our deepest values, we feel more fulfilled and authentic in our daily lives. When we say no to what we don't want, we create space for what matters most. Every time we decline something that doesn't serve us, we open up room for the people, experiences, and opportunities that truly enrich our lives. It's not about shutting people out, but about making conscious choices that support our growth and happiness. Think of no as a way to set healthy boundaries. Boundaries are essential for maintaining balance and protecting our mental and emotional health. They help us communicate our limits with clarity and respect, both to ourselves and to others. Boundaries are like invisible lines we draw to protect ourselves. They're not walls to keep people out, but gentle reminders of where we need space, rest, or time to recharge. Setting boundaries can feel challenging at first, but with practice it becomes an empowering act of self-respect. They help us define what we will and will not accept from others. By being clear about our boundaries, we teach people how to treat us and create healthier, more respectful relationships. It's a way of honoring both our needs and the needs of those around us. Saying no can be a way to show kindness to ourselves and others. When we're honest about our limits, we avoid resentment and frustration, and we give others permission to do the same. It's an act of compassion that nurtures trust and understanding. When we're feeling overwhelmed, we're not at our best. Overcommitting can lead to stress, exhaustion, and even resentment toward the people we care about. By recognizing our limits and honoring them, we can take better care of ourselves and show up more fully for others. By setting boundaries, we can show up more fully in our relationships and commitments. When we take care of ourselves first, we have more energy, patience, and love to share with the people and passions that matter most. Remember, every no is also a yes. A yes to your well-being, your dreams, and your most authentic life. Setting boundaries takes practice. Start by identifying what's important to you. What are your values? What are your limits? Once you know what you stand for, it becomes easier to set boundaries that align with your needs. Remember, boundaries are not about controlling others. They're about taking care of yourself. You have the right to say no to anything that compromises your well-being or goes against your values. It's okay to start small. You don't have to set big boundaries overnight. Begin by saying no to something simple. Each time you honor your boundaries, you build confidence and self-respect. Saying no doesn't have to be harsh or confrontational. You can, decline requests politely and respectfully. Here are some tips. First, keep it simple. You don't owe anyone a lengthy explanation. A simple, "Thank you for asking, but I'm unable to commit to that right now," is often enough. Next, be direct. Avoid vague responses or making excuses, since this can lead to confusion and misunderstandings. And if possible, offer alternatives. Maybe suggest an alternative solution or offer to help in a different way. Remember, your tone of voice and body language really matter. Speak calmly and confidently, maintain eye contact, and use a respectful tone. Saying no can feel different depending on the situation. Sometimes it can be as simple as a polite decline, while other times it might feel uncomfortable or even stressful. The context, the people involved, and your relationship with them all play a role in how you choose your words and approach. It's important to remember that setting boundaries is a healthy and necessary part of communication, no matter where you are or who you're with. Here are some examples of how to say no in various settings. Each environment brings its own challenges and expectations, so adapting your response can help you maintain your relationships while still honoring your own needs. At work, you might say, "I appreciate you thinking of me for this project, but I'm currently at capacity with my workload." This approach is respectful and acknowledges the request, while also making your limits clear. You can also offer alternatives, such as suggesting someone else who might be available, or proposing a later time when you could help. For example, "I wish I could take this on right now, but my schedule is full. Maybe we can revisit this next month." If you want to keep the door open for future collaboration, you might add, "I'd be happy to discuss it further when I have more bandwidth." This shows your willingness to contribute, just not at this moment. Remember, being honest about your workload helps set realistic expectations and prevents burnout. With friends, the conversation can be more casual, but it's still important to be clear. You could say, "Thanks for the invite. I'm actually feeling a bit burnt out this week." Letting your friends know how you're feeling can help them understand your need for space, and most true friends will appreciate your honesty. You might add, "I'd love to catch up another time though." This reassures your friends that you value the relationship and are interested in spending time together when you're feeling up to it. Suggesting an alternative plan, like meeting for coffee next week, can help keep the connection strong. And with family, you might say, "I understand this is important to you, but I'm not comfortable with that request." Family dynamics can be complex, and it can be especially hard to say no to loved ones. However, expressing your feelings honestly and respectfully is key to maintaining healthy boundaries. You can follow up with, "I'm happy to explore other ways I can support you." This shows that you care and are willing to help, just not in the way that's being asked. Offering alternatives can help ease any disappointment and keep the conversation positive. Remember, it's okay to take time to consider your response. You don't have to answer right away, especially if you're feeling pressured or unsure. Taking a moment to pause can help you gather your thoughts and respond in a way that feels right for you. You don't have to give an immediate answer. It's perfectly acceptable to say, "Can I have a moment to think about it?" Or, "Let me get back to you after I've had some time to consider." This gives you space to reflect and make a decision that aligns with your values and priorities. It's perfectly acceptable to say, "Let me think about it and get back to you." By giving yourself permission to pause, you empower yourself to make choices that are best for you, while still being considerate of others. Practicing these responses can help you feel more confident and comfortable navigating different situations, no matter where you are or who you're with. It's normal to feel a twinge of guilt when saying no, especially at first. Here are some ways to manage those feelings. Reframe no as self-care. Remind yourself that saying no is a way to protect your well-being and prioritize your needs. Challenge negative thoughts by asking yourself if your thoughts are actually helpful or true. Are you catastrophizing the situation? Focus on the positive and think about the benefits of saying no. What will you gain by honoring your boundaries? Remember, guilt is often temporary. It will fade as you become more comfortable setting boundaries. So be kind to yourself throughout the process. When you master the art of saying no, you create space for what truly matters. You'll have more time and energy for the things you enjoy. You'll be able to show up more fully in your relationships and commitments. Saying yes to yourself can be incredibly liberating. It allows you to pursue your passions, spend time with loved ones, and prioritize your well-being. Remember, you deserve to live a life that feels authentic and fulfilling. Saying no is not selfish. It's an act of self-love. Learning to say no is a journey, not a destination. It takes time and practice. Be patient with yourself and celebrate your progress along the way. Remember, your needs and feelings are valid. You deserve to set boundaries and prioritize your well-being. When you honor yourself, you teach others to do the same. You are worthy of respect, love, and happiness. Don't be afraid to say no to what doesn't serve you. Embrace the power of no and step into a life filled with joy, purpose, and authenticity. If this message resonated with you, please give it a like. It helps others find this important conversation. For more on self-empowerment and healthy relationships, consider subscribing. And if you know someone who struggles with saying no, share this video. It might be just what they need. Remember, every no to others can be a powerful yes to yourself. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.